All rise for the pledge.
200%.
Yeah.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the November 11th, 2024 council meeting to order, 7 p.m. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Joes. Here. Alderman Amundson.
Here.
Alderman Greiner. Here. Alderman Newhouse.
Here.
Alderman Babb.
Here.
Alderman Newman.
Here. Also present, Clerk Steele, Treasurer Warren, Water Superintendent Smith, Street Superintendent Helms, Police Chief Merritt, Office Manager Fogel, Building Inspector Dearborn, and in lieu of Attorney Herman, we have Attorney Jeff Gaster.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Under reports of city officials, I want to recognize, today being Veterans Day, how many veterans do we have? Can you guys just stand real quick, if you're a veteran? Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being a veteran and everything that you've done. I just want to acknowledge all of you.
Thanks.
So thank you. Clerk?
I have nothing.
Mr. Treasurer?
Nothing either.
Okay.
Are we close on the treasurer's report?
It'll be second, it'll be second council.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I asked that last time. I apologize.
And FYI, for those that weren't here at the last meeting, we're gonna do a quarterly review at the next committee meeting. So,
Okay. Any report from the attorney?
nothing from the city attorney.
Okay. Mr. Inspector?
No report.
Any communications?
None.
Any citizens wishing to address the council? Anyone? Reports of standing committees, water and sewer. Tim, you got anything?
I talked to all Telfer today. They're the ones that's gonna start this week, possibly start servicing our generators. And he made a mistake on the billing. He had on there taking sample of diesel. And we don't have diesel, we got natural gas, so that's $401 coming back to us. Plus, I mentioned to him that Briarwood was not in service no more, so we're gonna have over $1,000 coming back.
Okay. Good.
Other than that, that's it. That's all I got right now.
Okay. Law enforcement.
I'll turn it over to Chief. Don't really have anything. Need to update the computer in the main office. Talked with Chris, our IT guy, and he suggested a computer, $1,200. We have budget money for that, so I had him go ahead and order it, so we can get it upgraded.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Going. Fire.
On Sunday, November 24th, from 10 a.m. to noon, and again from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., the fire department will be having pictures with Santa with the toy and food drive at the firehouse.
Okay.
Toy and food drive. I said that right? In my brain, I switched.
No, you
syllables
did
there.
good.
Okay, good.
You did good.
Thanks. And that's all I have to report for fire.
All right. Streets.
Todd went up to Dixon to look at the crate batch machine. I'll let him talk about that.
It's a decent machine. They've gone through everything on it, replaced some things. We ran it. Obviously, we couldn't run oil through it, but we ran it with the hose and sprayed air through it. And they told me it's been in their yard for a year, and they will cut us a deal, and they'll drop the price down to $19,995 off of $23,000. So, because it's been in their yard for a year, they had a municipality interested in it, but they just stopped calling them about it, and they just lost track of it in their yard. And so he's looking to get rid of it, and said he cut us a deal. So
I do have a couple questions since I was in that committee. Is there any, I seen in one of the notes that there's gotta be an outfit to the trailer to fit our truck. What does that entail?
We're gonna use 22. The door on the back, we just gotta make a plate that would make a 4-inch hose, so the hose could go into the hopper to
Okay.
get rock to go through. But
Okay.
that's not that big of a.
On the coal chute?
Yeah, and so it's not that big of a expense. I don't know what that would cost. We might even be able to do it in-house if we could fabricate something, so.
Okay. And then one other or I guess two other questions. One, how does it have a winterization process? How does that?
All I've done in the past, on the ones that I've had before, is you drain it, and you run some diesel through it, and you put about 5 gallons of diesel in the tank to let it sit over winter, and that's it.
Okay, just so it doesn't gum up.
Right, yep.
And then the last question is, what is our planned schedule for it? When, because I assume we don't want just material sitting in it throughout the year if we're not using it. What, are we
Well, I
going
mean,
to
I can
plan
make
on
up a
twice a
plan.
season or once a season or what's?
Well, if I could, maybe run it 2 or 3 times a month, depending on,
Do we have the manpower for that?
it's only 2 people. It's just like Ace in the Hole was.
Okay.
Do we have that many that we couldn't? I mean, we only got 18 miles of roadway. How far can you travel in one day? And I'm just trying to get an idea of if we would do that once or twice a month.
I think the shape the
Once a
roads are
month.
in, I think you could at least do it once a month.
Probably starting out, yeah, I would agree, because, when Ace in the Hole was here, we didn't get every section.
My only concern why I asked about schedule is when we used to rent a lift.
Mhm.
We had a dedicated schedule, 2 months, we trimmed trees, got that done. Once we purchased a lift, yes, we can do the work at any time now because we own it, but we do less tree trimming now than when we used to rent it 2 months at a time, because all of our tree work had to be done in 2 months, so we dedicated time. That was the only reason why I was asking if you were,
Right.
if you were planning on running it 2 weeks in June and then 2 weeks in August, knowing that you've got street sweeping and other duties that have to be done. That was the only reason why I asked.
I
If we
would
were gonna
like
have
to
a
see,
dedicated
I would
schedule
like
on
to
it.
see at least run once a month to hit our streets after we get caught up on some of the bad spots around town.
Okay. Just so we have a planned schedule for it, so it's not just adding a piece of equipment to the fleet that's just, well, we have it so we can do it.
So it just don't sit.
You might also, like over the summer when we do Wednesday nights with the spray-in, it might be good to work with the office and see if we could get like a regular schedule of like the second Tuesday of the month. Just know people will be out spray patching, just so that our citizens are aware too, or our residents are, so that if they wanna go around or anything like that, they'll know that we're out spray patching, especially if you're thinking about a once a month
We could work up a
schedule.
schedule, like we'll be in this part of town.
Yeah.
Right. Type thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that,
So
put
then,
something out.
yeah, so then the office can put that on social media too, so that people are aware.
Move their cars.
And if we're
Yeah,
consistent.
move their
and
cars,
if we're
get off the
consist-
street.
Yeah, and if we're consistent on how we're providing the service, then they anticipate to look for that communication, know it could be in their
Right.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
Um,
we may make up cones, put a sign, street scraping next week,
Mhm.
let people know.
And possibly a few less cars on the road,
Yes.
or spraying,
Yes.
and we can do a little
We can do
bit.
that.
And then a week later or whatever, do the sweeping.
And pick up
So we
yeah.
can pick up the loose
Yeah.
after that.
Okay, that was the only
My-
questions I had, because I wasn't at the committee, so.
My question would be can we put crack sealer in it and run it through?
There's an option, you can put a crack sealer on the machine, but I'm gonna say this out of past experience in Bartonville, we put a crack sealer on our Durapatch machine. It's not the same as a regular crack machine. The oil coming out of it is not as good as a regular crack machine you would have.
Okay.
It's because you have to use the oil that you use for Durapatching, because the way it melts and comes through the hose.
It's not the tar black heat.
Right, it's not the thick stuff, it's thin. Granted, it makes it look black, but it does not fill the.
Doesn't have the body to
No,
it.
no,
So if you don't use gravel, you're about out of
yeah. So,
that, and we can't afford to go through and
seal all the time because it's gonna be outrageous for us to, we spent $7,000-8,000 on tar and gravel with the 13 or 17,000 that we spent. So we're gonna have to up that budget or something, otherwise.
Well, that's why I said Ace in the Hole was charging us almost double the what I can get the oil price for, so.
Yeah, but that's only 2 outings, I mean,
Well, I'm just saying, but,
You're gonna get twice the coverage
yeah, I mean, but,
for the same price.
yeah. Now, I can get it for $4 a gallon, it might go up a little bit next year, but nowhere near the $7.90 what Ace in the Hole.
Right,
His price will go too.
Right. So,
okay.
okay.
Thank you, Todd.
yeah.
Great, so I got.
Okay. Parks and Buildings.
The Tree City annual report is due August, it's not coming up. Is due August 31st. Jenny,
August?
or I'm sorry, December 31st.
I was like, wow, you are really.
Way ahead.
I'm like, okay, can we discuss that later?
Did Tim, did you see this, the email Jenny forwarded through?
Which Tim?
Tim, or, I'm sorry, Todd. She said Tim, and then
She
she said
sent it to
Junior.
me too.
Yeah. Who typically does this?
So historically, the Public Works Director works with the office and has done it. So this would be, especially with both Tim and Todd being new, you guys might, if you need support, let me know because I helped in the past.
Okay. Yeah, she sent it to us and I just have to dive through it and I plan on doing that to see what we need to put in there and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I would also talk to Maria would know
Yeah.
too. She'll have the institutional knowledge.
Is it due December? Yeah, December 31.
And then the other question I had, have we set a date on winterizing bathrooms yet, park bathrooms?
Yes, I have. As soon as the temperature at night stays down below the freezing mark, I can start doing that. We got people still using the water fountains unless they walk.
Okay. I just, if
And
it was
I've
something that
already
needed
called-
communicated, I was going to.
I've already called, Chris, of the Rec Association,
Okay,
and he said they're done.
They're done with
I can
concessions.
go in there and do.
get
do
that one
whenever.
winterized. Okay, perfect.
I
Todd,
just received that.
anything else?
Nope.
Buildings?
Nope.
Flags got replaced, I seen that.
Yep, I did that this morning, so.
Good.
Bob, do you know where I can get rid of the flags? I was told to ask you.
Sure,
Yeah.
hand them to me.
He's got them too.
You got, okay.
Told you.
I got them, I'll get them to you guys sometime this week or something.
Yeah.
Yep, we can easily do that.
Okay.
So I
You
have,
wanna talk about the locks or not?
And we can do that if you want. I've got access to, the barriers that you drive by on, highways between the traffic.
The Jersey bar.
Yeah, they're 12-foot long, they weigh 5,200 pounds,
Okay.
and I can get them for nothing. The only thing we have to do is transport them and move them wherever we want. So there would be a cost in that. But at 5,200 pounds, we really don't have anything that can pick them up and move them. We can get 12 of them on a semi. I don't know, I was curious if anybody was interested in doing it, having it for the park and ride, and maybe for product storage, gravel storage and dirt storage as a bumper. So you could bump up against it and load your truck or your unloader. If we're interested in that, I've got 68 of them available to me right now. So,
because they don't want to pay trucking. Oh.
Yeah.
they,
Tra-
I can
transporting
pick
from where?
through them, and they are not DOT certified anymore.
Oh,
They
okay.
got,
Decertified.
dings or cracks or something on them, but for what we want them, I can pick through them and get the best ones. They should be available all the way through next spring.
Where are they?
They're coming from East Peoria.
Oh, from East Peoria?
Over at, the bridge,
Okay.
bridge work, and they got hundreds of them over there, so.
I think we should investigate it and see what it would cost to have the semi done, and if they're willing to hold them until spring, then we could look at them for next year's budget.
Well,
The cost.
all we've got is transportation, so you're looking under $1,000, I'm sure.
We got three.
Yeah, we have three
budgeted
grand.
for 'em.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and our extra savings.
Okay.
But we gotta have something to set them with though, right? I mean, cause our backhoe is not gonna be able to.
I don't think
No.
we would have to plan and have equipment here, whether we can run the equipment ourselves or not, and have it wherever we want, or close to the property, and bring the semi in, unload it and place them in place and call it quits. Not
So-
play around with them 2 or 3 times.
So if we line up like a crane,
Mm-hmm,
Wheel loader would probably be the easiest.
right, that's what they load it with, is a wheel loader.
wheel loader,
Would they, if they have worked with those before, would they potentially give us a quote to have them transported and dropped?
Probably be cheaper for us to hire Mackinac transfer with. wheel
Right.
loader than-
Well, I mean,
That-
I'm not
the-
aware, so I just,
The bridge work will load them at no cost to us. Put them on, if we organize and set the time up, get a truck there, they'll load them and they won't cost us anything to do that. All they want them to do is get rid of
get
them.
rid of it.
Question for you, what's the dimension of one of them?
They're 12 foot long, they're 22 inches wide at the bottom, and 32 inches, I think, tall at the top.
So if we could get them in-house, we have a 12-inch or 14-inch saw, correct?
We have we have a 12 and 14.
So we could split them into 6-footers,
Oh,
and then we could manage them after they were off the semi.
Yeah.
If we offloaded them onto 2x4s and saw cut them with our concrete saw, we could split them to 6-footers, and then we can manage them from there on out.
What are you gonna?
We just got a new
what are you
blade.
gonna load them with?
We'd have to rent a wheel loader, or
If you're gonna do that, why not have it ready to have them just set right in place?
what about inventory though, if we, for future projects?
Where are you gonna put them?
we could use them up at the park, you could put them as a parking barrier. I mean,
so it sounds like there's interest, but we just need to decide how many we would need and what we would actually use them for, so that we don't have them sitting at random. So maybe a conversation with Todd
yeah,
and Justin would be beneficial. It sounds like the council's interested, yeah?
How much they weigh, Bob?
5,200 pounds.
That's what we were talking about.
Not much.
About 200 more
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
than
Bunker
that.
blocks, it's a
We're
block,
talking about-
2 foot by 2
They
foot.
use a.
Oh, that's right, they did the squirt,
And then
Squeeze
we-
it to
Put up here by the-
Cause are they the ones that are like
The price,
tapered at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are some tight.
I don't think they have, hooks like our blocks we put around the
We need
garage.
more room open door.
No, you could put a forklift underneath them, and, I can get the tool to
clamp
pick them
them.
up to grab at the top, that the end loader would use.
Okay.
That's not an issue.
Might be cheaper to rent, a wheel loader.
So it sounds like we have options.
Yeah.
But it also might be a good way to help, because that erosion over at the park and ride is it's just, and we'll have to talk to Pekin Park District, won't we? Because
Well,
we'll probably go into their space.
They gave us permission to
think
go
Oh,
in.
that's right. That's
They
right.
to
That's already
remove
been
the
talked
4 or
about.
5 trees that
That's
need to be
right.
done.
Yeah.
I would like to talk to Brightspeed and
I
see if they
remember
can
that.
remove that abandoned service that's down there.
Well, they're in town. Stop by one of them Monday.
yeah.
Because that's the only other thing holding up that
Oh, the
project.
pedestal?
Uh-huh,
Oh, it's abandoned?
yes,
Yeah.
that was old CenturyLink.
Oh,
And if we wanna use it down Logan, or, Liberty Hall for the storage of materials,
yeah.
we could put a concrete slab down and then set these on top of it and keep your materials separated and be able to get in there without getting dirt and everything else in your
I don't
material.
know if that's our property.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if you
Yeah,
can pour a
that's-
concrete
that's
slab
the
over the
line.
property.
That's
the
a
high
hammer.
line.
Yeah.
We just got permission to store the stuff there.
Okay, it'd still be movable. I mean, you could always bust the concrete out, so.
No, consider that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it.
Definitely some interest.
Park and Ride Convention, how many we need.
Figure out how many.
Might be worth having some up at Frisbee too. People from driving around.
I don't know what you're talking about, but.
Where they dump the
Yeah, but-
debris around.
Oh, yeah, be another thing of cutting through that. The 12-inch saw of the base is gonna be a little
On
wider,
each
so
side.
you have to flip it to cut through, or you're gonna be breaking them.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Save some money there.
Absolutely.
It's something to lift the whole
Thank you for
thing and set it in place.
finding those ones. Anything else for Parks and Recs?
No,
Okay.
I was told you're supposed to start.
Planning.
Does nothing for free.
Showing anything on old business? Moving on to the consent agenda. Any items wishing to be removed from the consent agenda?
Letter C,
Okay. So C, I hear.
C is in cat.
Any other?
B as in boy.
B as in boy. Okay. Any other items wishing to be removed from the consent agenda? Not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda minus items B and C.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Clerk call roll.
Alderman Bab,
Aye.
Alderman Newman,
Aye.
Alderman Amundson,
Aye.
Alderman Jose,
Aye.
Alderman Greiner,
Aye.
Alderman Newhouse. Motion passed.
Okay. Item B, that was removed from the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve item B from the consent agenda.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Questions? Clerk call roll.
Alderman Greiner,
Aye.
Alderman Bab,
Aye.
Alderman Newhouse,
Aye.
Alderman Amundson,
Aye.
Alderman Newman,
Abstain.
Alderman Jose.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Item C from the consent agenda.
Help me out, Justin. Oh, you weren't here either. Oh, no, you were here.
I was here.
Go
Make a
ahead.
motion to approve the October 28th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Questions? Clerk call roll.
Alderman Amundson,
Aye.
Alderman Newman,
Aye.
Alderman Jose,
Aye.
Alderman Greiner,
Abstain.
Alderman Newhouse,
Aye.
Alderman Bab.
Sorry, Tim, that was my fault for forgetting to tell you to take that off.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. Moving on to new business. Item A, discussion of planning commission board.
Everybody got one of these? Need to know how you want to move forward with that. What your thoughts and ideas are.
I just printed these on.
Is that it? You made it?
It was put in the,
I'm sorry, what was it?
29th from Roundabout.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
and then also in Friday's agenda,
Okay.
Tim also put in an additional one in there. Our block board.
Oh, okay. It's the right-of-way accessibility transition.
Yeah, I just copied it off the internet,
Mhm.
use it for a template.
Everybody have a chance to take a look at it?
I guess I'm confused about the difference between this and the planning commission, because are we looking to create a planning commission? Cause I was pulling from the ordinances to look at that to see what we need for a planning commission. Are we looking for a planning commission specifically for this project?
No, we already have a planning commission. But do we want the planning commission to take on this project? Is that what I'm understanding?
That's what I'm understanding.
Okay. Are we wanting to give direction to the planning commission to make something like this up?
Or the other option, I'll volunteer with Lisa to do it.
Okay,
Well, I mean, I'm looking, the purpose of the planning commission is to help create these plans, so.
Right.
The comprehensive plan.
And this is a long-term plan. It's not something that we're gonna get done or accomplish in 1 year.
Oh, no, that's
But
right.
it's gonna be a long-term thing, so it needs to be addressed with going through and how we're gonna finance it.
We're just talking about creating a plan now.
Right.
The financing and how we do things will be in there.
Can we just clarify what we're talking about so that
The
everybody
ADA
knows?
plan,
Okay.
that's what it is.
Thank you.
so which,
Which way do you wanna go?
you want us to direct the planning commission to do this, or?
I'd like to hear
They
Yeah.
the
they
thoughts.
take forever, for one thing.
Well, yeah,
And I've talked to the chairman of that, and he is not in favor of doing it, so.
okay.
Ron and I can do it. Do you want?
I'm fine with you two, if you two wanna get together and work up a comprehensive plan, ADA plan for the city.
I'm confused.
I'm reading parts of this, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So improvement schedule and cost on this page here, page 10 and 11 on Lockport's. That looks as though that was generated from an engineer, because it calls out
Yes.
specifics.
Oh,
So,
the engineer's gonna be-
this- I was gonna say, at what point are we planning on using the engineer? At what point are we planning on working with the attorney's office to make sure that we're meeting legal compliance on this? I know initially the talk was just to get a list, to see what intersections we have are compliant, not compliant,
Right.
not necessarily.
I think by law, you have to have a plan.
One other thought that is crossing my mind as we're discussing, I'd have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a provision in the municipal code that if you have a planning commission, they're supposed to be the one promulgating.
That is what, 225A states
Yeah.
in the
and-
ordinance, that's why I said I was confused.
And if this is adjacent or a subcomponent of the greater comprehensive plan, it might be, at a minimum, a good idea to have it go through your planning commission, if not almost required to go through that route.
Okay.
Our planning commission ordinance indicates the plan may include reasonable requirements with reference to streets, public grounds, curbs, gutters, sidewalks, street lights, parks, playgrounds, et cetera. So that's my understanding, is that the ADA plan should go through the planning commission.
Because the ADA issue just, we're gonna, over time, phase up all of our sidewalks and rights of way so that we're meeting the, angle requirements and all that, so, okay.
That's the guide to.
So it needs to go to planning commission, okay?
According to our ordinances, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And your ordinance is probably taking its cue from the Illinois
IML.
Municipal Code, it's,
Yeah.
That's what it says we have to do, and
that's
that's
my
what we'll do.
guess, yeah.
So,
Okay, well,
we will,
we'll have to find a new committee, because they're not gonna do it.
They're not gonna, if the mayor tells them to do it, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, they'll just.
then we'll find a new committee if that's what it has to be, because
That's right.
the law says we have to do it through
Okay.
the committee. So,
That's fine, just heads up.
I'm,
Okay.
so,
How do we get a new committee? You appoint them?
No, you do.
Yeah, you do.
The members of the planning commission shall be selected by the planning committee chair and appointed by the mayor, subject to the approval of the city council.
Okay,
And they serve for a period of 2 years or until their successors are appointed.
okay. I'll get on that.
So last time when we did that, the office put out information saying that we're trying to fill seats and then people would throw their name in the hat. and then you and the mayor could speak with them.
Right.
And find out who, because I think that's how Ron
Right.
reestablished. I know that's how Dale Little established when
Yeah,
he had
so
the
offer it to
one.
them first, now offer, tell them what first, and then they say no, then
Yep.
What type of civic engagement do you guys have? Are you anticipating problems if we have to restaff that body, or is that gonna not be an issue? I'm getting the impression from here that it shouldn't be an issue.
I don't feel that it'll be an
It's after
issue. I mean,
planning,
if
they'll
they,
probably join, so.
if they choose not
I'm
to
gonna be honest.
do it, then
We'll move
we'll
on.
have
It just
to
says,
fill the, a new commission, so. So,
so if there are no other openings or something, I think I can still serve.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Six.
Oh, now. Not right now.
six, right, Ron?
No,
Five,
six.
Five.
It's five.
Is it five?
Five is required.
Okay. Could you, Heather, since you got that pulled up, could you, just email that to Lisa?
The link
Ordinance?
to, the
Oh,
yeah,
she's already got it, I already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
it's, 2, chapter 2 is the planning commission, title 2, chapter 2. is the planning commission.
So,
Yep.
Lisa, you're gonna reach out to them, or are you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Next item for new business, discussion of changes to the men's club lease.
So after talking to the council members, I think it's best that we table that until after the election. And I don't see it passing.
Are we talking about April election?
Yeah.
So to be clear, the lease still has, what, 2 years on it? Existing?
I think it's three.
Is it 3?
2020, I
2000
just had this.
Must be getting done.
28.
28, yes, 2028 is the,
8, okay.
May of 28 is the,
Expiration of the 20-year lease that's in place.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, 2028. I'm on the spot, though.
And I think it's in May of 28.
You're correct.
No, I had it up during the, meeting.
Okay. Okay. Moving along. Any citizens wishing to address the council? Any other business pertaining to the city?
Packets can be turned in tomorrow morning, starting at 9 a.m.?
9 a.m.
I think 9 a.m.
9
Just so
a.m.
everybody's aware.
Okay. Any other business pertaining to the city?
Thank you, streets, on election day, I saw y'all out there. Nice of us to have a huge storm that day and take down some lines.
Yeah.
So shout out to streets, I saw you guys, in water, I saw you guys down there working on those lines.
Okay. Any other business pertaining to the city?
None, motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk?